Good afternoon and good evening, everyone, and welcome again to the Poetry News. We welcome you Marvel poetry fans who tune in regularly and also who got this video randomly recommended to them by YouTube. You're all welcome here. We are joined this week by Squigs and Eddie. How's it going, everyone? You well?
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, okay.
You good?
Great to see you both. Unfortunately, Arsene isn't able to join us this week. There are some problems with an internet connection and a blizzard, I believe. So we wish the hasty passing of that, and Arsene will be back with us very soon. But we have a fine list of poetic powerfulness coming to you this week. We have 12 weeks of teenagers, we have an event in Arkansas, and we have a poet from Winnipeg, Squigs' neck of the woods. But before all that, anti-poetry. Specifically, antipoetrymag.com, who are currently open for submissions for their very first issue. It's an online-only magazine run out of Tennessee, USA by the poet Gianna Payton, who describes the magazine as gorgeous poems about ugly things, ugly poems about unloved things, unlovely poems about gorgeous things. Anti-poetry is a pipe dream that never died. The work showcased here is meant to surprise, spark a reaction, and call to the broken parts in each of us, giving us comfort that nothing is truly perfect. Submissions are free, and you can email them between 1 and 5 previously unpublished poems, with no restriction on form or length. If this is of interest to you, then you can check them out at antipoetrymag.com. But remember, tell them your favourite food when submitting to make sure you've read the guidelines properly. Harold, what do you think about this?
I love it. It's amazing the way that they are challenging everything that we know about poetry. It's lovely poetry about unlovely things, or like beautiful poetry about ugly things. These are the things that we don't think about writing. And the submission is free. They're working on their first collection. It is something amazing, and I think everyone should check this out and read the guidelines, obviously, and go with it. It's amazing. It's a great opportunity for people to get their work out there. The work that is unconventional and not a lot of publishing houses would take. I like that.
Yeah, and just to go off of what Eddie was saying, I mean, it does kind of break the mold, because I don't know if we're faulted by it, but as I guess attempting to write a poem to capture something beautiful, you almost want to believe that the poem itself would be beautiful. But then to write something ugly to capture something beautiful sounds like a lot of my attempts at erotic poetry anyway. But this sounds like a very interesting project, and I would like to see what happens. This is great. This is like another way of opening a door in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and it's so true, isn't it? You know what you were saying. We often connect beauty with beautiful things or beautiful wordings of things, and it doesn't have to be that way. And also that idea that beautiful poems about quote unquote ugly things, and the way you can find beauty in almost anything, and also because this is such a brand new magazine, it's such a great thing to get behind and support, and challenge yourself in the way you're writing as well. So. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for your thoughts on that, guys. And we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Eddie. And I'm joining you from Batoon, the north of Lebanon, not Narnia. Today, I'm addressing our younger audience, specifically those who are aged between 13 and 17. I'm bringing you a 12-session course stretched out from February 9 all the way to late July. In this workshop, you will learn how to write, edit, and put together a poetry collection. This workshop is titled Write a Poetry Book for Teens, and it is hosted by Wandering Willow, a US-based community. In this workshop, participants will start with the basics of writing poetry, obviously that being reading and close reading works from the 20th and the 21st century, and then move on to all the steps involved in writing a poetry collection. They will have mentors and workshop facilitators to help them out, and if they are not ready by the end of the workshop, they are just free to take their work and explore where they can go with their words. This program is open to all levels, and it will be held virtually through Zoom. The information, when you sign up for this workshop, the information will be sent to you before the starting date. Finally, this workshop has 10 spots per group. So it is extremely interesting and nice to have a small group of people. And it is a safe space for BIPOC and LGBTQ plus community members. Make sure to check out more details about this workshop in the description to this video down below. Question to my fellow Herald: how important is it to integrate this idea of poetry writing in younger people, in teenagers?
First of all, I want to say that the youngins today, they get it easy. They get everything handed to them. How to write a poetry book, really? Like, I didn't figure out how to write a poetry book till my soul was broken, and I was just like, my heart was ripped apart, and I was just old. I was old, before I even figured out that this was a thing. And now, there's this workshop that just hands it to them. Kids today, man. But no, seriously, this is a great idea. This is a great idea because imagine poetry through younger eyes,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine those indigenous cultures which speak their history orally, which means that every new generation is a new voice to add to that story, and a workshop that would accommodate and even guide this. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We should get that out there. We should get more poets in the world.
It's absolutely true, isn't it? And it's, these opportunities and the way they come, it's fantastic that there are so many of these opportunities available now because, certainly, I know I've talked about it, I think, way back on the show, that when I was producing my first poetry book, I really had very little idea as to what I was doing. And I was really learning through making mistakes. And then I was partly realizing just how many mistakes there were to make. And it gives an opportunity for these younger poets to really fire their ideas out and get them down, because I think especially teenagers are so full of ideas and so full of enthusiasm for changing the world and just making the world a better place and seeing problems that perhaps as you get a bit older you just get accustomed to and accept. And to bring that challenge and those ideas and that energy out to readers is great. And it also gives an opportunity for people who maybe struggled with that process to become mentors for it, and just sort of giving something back thing as well. And there's an organization in the UK called First Story, which it doesn't curate individual collections, but they go into schools and they help with getting kids to write poetry, and they produce poetry anthologies as a result of teenagers' work. And I've been to some of those events and they're fantastic as well. I'm rambling because it's a great idea, so 100% behind this.
It's amazing. Yeah, it is. It's brilliant, and this frustration comes from pride. I get how Squigs is feeling, because it is stuff that we didn't I'm not that much. I'm in my early 20s, so it's not something that is so different from mine. But I didn't get any of that. And I'm struggling now with producing or writing a book and what goes into it and all of this. That's amazing. I'm glad that such a workshop exists. All right, we'll be right back right after this with Squigs. We have 2 doses of Squigs today, so we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I'm Arsene, and this week I don't think I've looked much better. Any better. Anyway, so yes, I'm Squigs, and this week we're talking about Wednesday Night Poetry. It's an event on Facebook now. It's hosted by Kai Kogan. The WNP Virtual Open Mic Poetry Through the Pandemic series runs weekly from 7:30 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook. Now, according to the event page, WNP was founded by the late Bud Kinney and is the longest-running consecutive weekly poetry open mic series in the country. Never missing a single week of poetry since February 1st, 1989. Wow. Those wanting a chance to participate can send 3-minute long videos of their poem or song to Kogan on her Facebook DM at Kai Kogan, or email kaikogan, one word, at gmail.com. They curate the list of poets each week, and they will curate and post pieces that viewers can click through, listen, comment. Past readings are available as well, so you can get your work archived through the Facebook event. Now, to look this up, this is located in the lovely state of Arkansas, at 1010 Central Avenue, Hot Springs in the US. I don't know what else much to say about it, except, of course, it is, once again, free 99, and just another opportunity for poets who want to share their voice with the world on a Wednesday night, or any other night, but this one's on Wednesday. So I'd like to bring back my heralds to speak about our open mic experiences, and this is like since 1989. Geez, I was barely born then, but yeah, it's quite a long running. Yeah, what's that, Eddie? Okay, everyone.
Well, I know, right? I mean, 1989. I mean, you bring some awesome mics to this show, Arsene, but I think this one especially really jumps out at me. I think it's just, I mean, that 1989, the Berlin Wall came down in 1989, and this mic has been running every single week since that point. It's just absolutely amazing, but it sounds like a really good mic as well. The fact you've got all this essential sort of archiving on Facebook just through kind of having the events going on there, and the way they've transitioned through the pandemic to they've still got their base in Arkansas, but now they're opening this up to everyone else around the world. And if you're wondering if a poetry night is run with passion, it's run every week since 1989. There's your answer. So I'm definitely going to check this one out.
It's amazing. Dare I say it's 8 years older than I am? Hi, I'm young. The thing is that I love the way they, for you to participate, you have to send a 3-minute video of you performing, which ensures in a way the quality kind of their platform. I mean, it's been there for 100 years, so it's not. I know. I'm just joking, exaggerating. Hyperbole is a thing. It's been there for forever, at least forever in my standards. And I believe that such an experience in curating such events has created this idea of send us a video of you performing. This ensures the quality of the performances happening on their platform. They wouldn't want, since they've gone worldwide, since they've gone online because of the pandemic, they are making sure that the quality is still there. Because for something to go on for more than 30 years, for like 33 years now, that is something that a quality should be there, and it is refined, obviously, for something to go on for this long. And I'm just in love. Yeah. Thank you, Arsene, for bringing us.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes. Happy to bring you more love, something to fall in love with. So once again, that you can find the information on Facebook. That is WNP, Wednesday Night Poetry, the virtual open mic, poetry through the pandemic. And once again, free 99. So thank you. That's my time as Arsene. And next up, we will have another dose of squigs. Good morning, good evening. Here this week to deliver a headline from my neck of the woods, turns out. This is an article from global.ca news. Winnipeg high schooler captures frustration of pandemic life in impassioned poem. Now, this is an article by Sam Thompson for Global News, and it goes on to read that a Winnipeg teacher is highlighting a poem from a grade 11 student, and that left her speechless. Maeve Savage, who teaches at J.H. Burns Collegiate in Southdale, told 680 CJOB, it's a radio station, that the passionate piece entitled Too Much Time by student Emma Wallace gave her goosebumps due to its reflection on a teenager's experience during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now it goes on to say, from Wallace's perspective, it said that her passion for slam poetry and its performative aspects led to the creation of the piece, as did a reflection on how different life seemed for teens pre-pandemic as depicted in popular culture from the past decades. And yes, the website actually has the link to the radio show, in which Emma Wallace goes on to recite her poem, so you can actually hear her poem in her voice. So it's about the poem itself is about COVID and how it affects me as a teenager. Emma Wallace goes on to say. But I was also thinking about how social media is really confusing on what's new in TV and movies. But through the entire COVID experience, I was just watching old movies, classic Y2K movies. There were so many references and crazy ideas going on in these movies, and I thought, wouldn't this be much better than what's going on now? And so they wrote about it. Yeah, I welcome everyone to listen to the recording, and it's just rife with references and perspectives about like how, as a teenager you're watching movies about other teenagers, but their school experience is so much more different. They don't have to wear masks or be in cohorts, or they get their own lockers. And I don't know, like it's been a while since I was in high school, but one line actually got me here. So I will read this excerpt from Emma Wallace's poem, Too Much Time. My grandmother may not be the Queen of Genovia. I may not have a long-lost twin waiting for me at summer camp, or magically switch bodies with my mom on a Friday. But is it so wrong to think that maybe there was a festival I was supposed to go to, or a restaurant I was meant to eat at, or a wrong bus I was supposed to take home? This whole time that I was trapped in my room, was I supposed to be somewhere else? I've had a lot of time to think. Now, I think this piece is definitely worth a listen. So once again, that is Global News, one word, .ca. And so I welcome everyone to read this article, and I would like to bring back my heralds to speak about their pandemic experience and how it's affected their writing.
Well, absolutely. I think so. I'm 40 years old, and so obviously the pandemic hit when I was 38, and so by that point I was already quite well established with my life and what I was doing with it and my habits and what I like and what I don't like and everything like that. And I was working from home anyway, so when it was like, oh, everyone's got to work from home, didn't actually make as much difference to me as it would have done to a lot of people. And obviously there's a lot of financial things in there as well. But when I was a teenager, I remember just the struggle of trying to find my place in the world. The world was very confusing. I was looking to get out there, to make my mark, to find my way. And just through interacting and being around people and just being out in the world is so important and so critical, especially at that age, to actually find your way and find your place. And, I didn't have I was around before kind of social media really at that point, but then that onslaught and all this different kind of information and what do you believe and what do you not, and what's correct information and what's just a load of garbage by snake oil salespeople and things like that. And it's very hard to find your way. And I think it sounds like this student just encapsulates this really well. I love the line, a festival I was supposed to go to. And yeah, I encourage everyone to check out the full poem. And it goes back to your article, Eddie, about the 12-week-long writing workshop for teenagers. You got to give people that voice. It's amazing. It's amazing what comes out.
Exactly. And I think my growth or my development, because the pandemic hit, I was 21 when or 22 when the pandemic hit. It's 22. Yeah, I was 22. So when this thing started, I turned 25 just in a few weeks and in about a month. And all of this is just, before the pandemic hit, I was writing. And then before then, I was like, okay, let me hold off writing a bit for me to get new experiences, to have a new, not to have a new voice, to find my voice, to go deeper into this thing. And then I was locked at home. So I believe that the pandemic kind of prevented me from exploring my voice even further. And even now, like, I'm trying to put a book together. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to finish my thesis. I'm trying to do all of that. And it's just all there, all happening at the same time, where I still need to find my voice and I still need to have these experiences that allow me to write. And I think this is something I really need to do. Unfortunately, I will have to do it a bit later than it's supposed to happen. At least, yeah. But
No,
one last thing. I love the references. Sorry, hi. I love the references between the my grandmother is not the Queen of Genovia, and I don't have a twin sister at summer camp, because these are the movies I grew up watching. And yes, I love the young voice. Now I wouldn't write this stuff, but a young voice like that one, you can feel how young that voice is, and that's amazing. Hi. I rambled a lot, sorry.
no, that's great. Totally agree. Yeah, they're classic, and they're classic tropes, I believe you call them, concepts. Paradigms for which, like, as a youth, they inspired this idea of like magic. Like, oh, what, like going to summer camp. Yeah, it's an adventure that could happen. But yeah, there's definitely a disconnect, unfortunately. Hoping everyone's staying safe, and we will move past this, but it does, yeah, like the title of the poem, too much time. It will take time.
Yeah.
Away from, the, I guess, the given interactions as human beings we were actually supposed to have. We're social creatures, and now we're trapped in our rooms and trying to be safe and hope everyone stays safe. And we'd love to hear from you about your ideas about pandemic and writing in the pandemic. And once again, that was Global News .ca article by Sam Thompson. The recording is on 680 CJOB radio, and it's right there, and you can play it, and please listen to it and tell us what you think. You can give us your opinions. We'd love to hear from you, of course, out there with everyone behind our screens, but in our homes, staying safe. Thank you very much. That is what I have for this week, and we're closing out with I believe, like, Eddie with the particulars, of course, and Martin with a final word before we send you off back into the social media lands. Thank you for sharing your time with us.
So thank you to everybody for watching today. We hope you enjoyed the articles and the submissions and the events that we brought to you today. We'd also love to know what you think. What do you think about Wednesday night poetry? What do you think about Eddie's workshop about curating poetry books for teenagers? What do you think about the poem Too Much Time? Will you be submitting to anti-poetry? We would love to know what you think. Do drop us a comment below.
Yes, please leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get those subscribers up. And please make sure that you follow us and you check us out on all of our social. We're on Instagram and TikTok at the PGN Official. We're on Facebook, the Poetry Global Network. And you can send us an email if you want to tell us anything. At the Poetry Global Network at gmail.com. Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. We'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching us.
Oh, sorry, intro came in too late.
Yeah, just throw me on, and then I'll throw myself on as well. And look there, because my camera's there, and now it looks like, okay. God. All right.